These hills don't get any easier. Okay, we finally started to make our ascent up to the top. Not going all the way, I don't think, but the views are already starting to come into play. Not been this way for quite a while actually now, but it was a lovely evening, so hopefully we'll get some decent shots. Only time will tell. For the shot, I was kind of hoping that these fields wouldn't have been harvested yet, but we're a bit late. They have been, because the plan was to get obviously the unharvested fields in the foreground with the moon rising in the background, harvest moon and all that, but it's not going to work. Still going to take the shot, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if you can see the motorway in the background there. The moon should rise just above that, so fingers crossed. These hills don't get any easier. Okay, so as I said, the skies are clear. There's hardly a cloud in them, so sunset I don't think is going to be very spectacular. It'll still be nice, but I think it's going to be very spectacular. Moonrise, on the other hand, I think could be very spectacular. Fingers crossed anyway. We've done the worst part of the walk, we've done a big long uphill walk. So we're just making our way now around the big field towards the actual castle itself. I wasn't going to come up this far, but because they've actually done the harvest, there's no foreground interest, so I'm going to be using the long lens to see if I can't get that bit of motorway or something in the distance as a foreground and get that moon rising. Come over the brow and Swindon appears as if by magic. You realise just how big the place is. So the marker behind me sort of represents or marks the top of Liddington Castle. We've made it up here with plenty of time to spare, it would seem. Maybe should have left it a little bit longer, but it gives us a chance to get the long lens out and see what we can pull out of the scene. Yeah, we are overlooking Swindon and we can see every single part of it. This would have been a great lookout years ago. So I think we're going to walk on down to the front edge there, overlooking Swindon, and get a long lens out, see if we can't just pull out any little details just to pass the time while we're waiting for the sun to set. Sunset first, moonrise is coming in over that way. I don't know if you can make out the motorway, it's just about there somewhere. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. Hopefully the moon will rise just above it and it'll be a nice orangey harvest moon colour, and even if it's not, it's still a nice evening to come out. I did spot a kestrel on the way up here, so we're going to go down on the front of the castle there, see if we can't spot him. Let's go. Hello. 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 I've had a bit of a scout round, and I think the best place to take both of these shots is just up the hill there, on the corner of the castle. You can see down where the sun's going to be setting, and you can see the motorway and the hills in the distance of where the moon should rise. So I think it's only literally just up there. So we're just gonna sit here and enjoy the view and enjoy the peace and quiet. There's nobody here. It's just me and Jess, enjoying our peace and quiet and enjoying the views. So yeah, looking forward to sunset. Looking forward to moonrise, harvest moonrise. Its harvest moon is the sun sets as the moon rises, and it gets its name so is from years ago when the farmers would be out in the night harvesting the crops, and the moon would give them the light through the night. So the sun would set, the moon would rise, and it would give them continuous light. That's where it comes from. It's also at the furthest away point from Earth, so it's the smallest little bit. So this is called a micro moon, and it's when it's at its furthest point away from the Earth, which is tonight. But it should rise over there. It should be a light orangey colour, and I'm in the perfect place to take the shot of it. Just hear the traffic, that's all you can hear up here. There's nothing up here at all. So you can probably tell by the sun on my face that it's getting lower in the sky. We've probably got about 25 minutes to go, something like that. But I'm going to wait until the sun is actually set before I take any images of overlooking Swindon. There are some wispy clouds in the sky. Whether they'll catch? Who knows? Don't know. But it's a great night to be out. So glad I came up here. It's not cold at all. It's a bit of a wind blowing, but it's not cold at all. I still can't believe I'm the only one up here. Okay, so I've set up my composition for the moon. Sun's setting behind me now, but it's the moon that I've really come up here for. It's not the sunset. The sunset isn't going to be that spectacular. There's not a cloud hardly in the sky. There's going to be a bit of an orange glow on the horizon. It'll be nice to watch, but apart from that, so I've turned my attention and set my composition up for the moon, because that's what I've come up here for anyway. In the very distance you can see part of the M4 motorway disappearing into the hills. I'm at about 370 mil, something like that, on a 100 to 400 lens. So just a waiting game. Sun is really just starting to set. And so yeah, it's just a waiting game now really. Fingers crossed I'm in the right place. Okay, so sunset, and it's got quite chilly. So hopefully this moon won't be too long making an appearance. I think there's about a 10-minute gap between the two, between one setting and one rising. So hopefully any time soon we should see the sun rise. See the moon rising in the distance over there. I set me focus onto the cars on the motorway, and hopefully my app's correct on my phone. I use an app called SoulCal, I think it's called, on my phone. No, it's not. Lunar SoulCal it's called, and it sort of lets you know different directions of what things are going to be rising and where. So we're a couple of minutes away now from actual moon rise, as long as my view of direction is correct. I think it is. I think I'm pretty close. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some, while it's low in the sky, I want to get some landscape images of of the moon rising above the motorway and above the hills. But once it gets up, I'll probably work my way down the hill, and once it's got up, I'll take some shots of the actual moon, just the moon itself. I can just see the moon creeping up now, actually, and I'm in the perfect direction. Perfect direction. So the moon's just starting to rise now. Should be able to see it just about there, just rising. Right, I thought I'd just put you back onto me because the moon's rising beautifully over the hills. Couldn't be in a better place. Change composition a little bit. In actual fact, I'm going to pull that back. I'm getting some quite nice shots. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at that one, and I'm going to move on down the hill a bit and see if I can't get a different composition while it's low in the sky. Okay, so I took a shot a month or two ago of when the moon was rising like this. So I'll put that up for you, but this is a very similar situation. So I've got it rising low in the sky. It is quite cloudy, it's sort of covered by a bit of cloud, but I've given it a bit of atmosphere, I think. I'm at f11 for a second on ISO 100. And I'm at 300 mil as well, so I got some nice fields in the foreground, obviously the moon rising in the background. I focus to infinity. I don't think that's too bad. I'm just going to spin you around and you should be able to see it just about there. There's a small little dot, but believe me, it's quite a size actually from up here, so definitely worth the trip up. I'm so glad I came up. Okay, so I stopped on this track, because you can't see it, it's too dark, but I've stopped on the actual track that leads up to the castle, and because I can see the moon just there. So I've taken a couple of shots, and I'm going to show you on the back of the camera what they're looking like. I'm really pleased with these, I really am, but it's getting quite dark, so I need to get back to the van. It's another 20-minute walk yet. So I'm just going to show you these quickly. So that's what I'm getting on the back of the camera. That's obviously cropped in. Really pleased with that. Really pleased. 1/25 of a second, f6.3, ISO 100. Yeah, really pleased. I'll take a couple more while I can, and then I'll be signing off. Okay, so we're back at the car. Finally made it down. A great evening, really good evening. I can't tell you how good that felt. Hopefully got some nice shots, and yeah, really must be doing this again. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. Any comments, please leave down below, and I will see you on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.